Welcome back. It's not fun to think about and devastating if it happens, but what do you do if you're laid off during the holidays? Well, joining us today is Don Hughes of OI Partners Venturian. That's a coaching and leadership consulting firm. He's going to walk us through a potentially difficult time. Don, thanks for being here this morning.
My pleasure.
The timing is a lot of it because the holidays happen to fall at the end of the calendar year, which is when a lot of companies rebudget.
Absolutely. Looking forward to the new year. They're making decisions, and sometimes tough ones, and unfortunately sometimes people are affected.
And how can someone maybe prepare themselves if they feel like it might happen to them?
Well, a lot of things are beyond their control, of course.
Sure.
Obviously, they want to take advantage of opportunities within the organization, look for ways they can increase their value proposition within an organization, communicate that effectively, and hopefully avoid something. But again, most things are going to be beyond their control.
Right. Again, as you mentioned, some are results-based. Maybe you can try to turn things around before it's too late, but there are some kind of warning signs out there that maybe you can look out for and brace yourself.
Absolutely. If your company is facing a situation where revenue is down, your department's having difficulties, or maybe there's been an acquisition or a merger and there's redundancies, well, then those are signs that you could be vulnerable. On top of that, if you notice that your boss is not making eye contact, if you notice that you're included in fewer meetings, if you've received a performance result that is not what your past ones were, these could all be signs. Unfortunately, we tend to want to be a ostrich with our head in the sand when these things are coming sometimes.
Right.
It's better to be prepared and be proactive.
So in the event that it does happen, you're laid off, what do you recommend people do?
Well, the first thing is look for opportunities to do consulting with the organization you've been working for, if that's a possibility. That might buy you some time. In addition to that, you want to ask for outplacement assistance. If you can get the company to pay for assistance in your transition, that's something certainly you want to ask for. On top of that, take this opportunity to really evaluate then your life. Has your work and life been where you've wanted it to be, or is now a time to change course? There's a lot of people that in that moment will say this frankly was the best thing that ever happened to me, because they realize they've sort of been on the treadmill of life and not really been thinking about what's important, not taking time for the things that are important to them. So it's a great opportunity for that. On top of that then, you want to build some case studies of your successes, some stories you can begin to tell, and then you want to start making contacts with people, and your job search is going to be far more about conversations than applications.
And you recommend that if you're going on a job search or on an interview, you kind of let the emotions cool off first, right?
Yeah, you need to take some time. You need to take some time to yourself, evaluate what's important. What is it you really want to be doing with your life? Have you been again, on that treadmill of life and not really paying attention to things that are important?
And the holidays, obviously, a great time to networking. Never underestimate the power of networking.
Exactly. You know, you'll be meeting lots of people, spending time with people. Now's not the time to talk about your job search, but it is the time to connect with people and set up a time later then to really talk about where you're wanting to go with your career and make those connections later.
Making contacts, it's a lot about who you know. We hear that expression so many times.
It is.
Don Hughes, thank you so much for being with us.
A pleasure.
All right. David is back with a look at our forecast now.